Once we know who we're bringing to Portland, we really want to welcome them. Every touch point that we have, we want to make sure it's intentional.
Joe, the rest of the group did an unbelievable job.
Donovan Clingan.
Just identifying talent.
Playing go low right now, keep your presence.
When you're a rebuilding team like we are and you're trying to take that next step, we need guys that are capable of coming in and winning jobs. That's what we're looking forward to, is just being more competitive.
The focus this offseason is to really continue building out the roster. They made a lot of progress last year in that after the trade with Damian Lillard, bringing in Scoot Henderson, bringing in Chris Murray, bringing in Ryan Repair, bringing in DeAndre Ayton, bringing in Toumani Camara, continuing to try to build the talent base for this team. From a positional perspective, from a skill perspective, they'll be on the path to being able to contend a lot sooner than I think a lot of us think. So right now, it's really about who are the players we can bring on this team who are going to compete? Who are the players who are going to help us set the culture for this team going forward? So I think for Joe Cronin and his staff, for Chauncey Billups and his staff, it is about finding the players that in the next couple seasons can really grow together and become the kind of hard-nosed, hard-playing defensive team that they've wanted to see here in Rip City for some time.
We need to get better, and in some ways we need to get different. My goal is to be open-minded and be opportunistic about, finding players that can help us in not just the short term, but the long term.
The only real consensus, you talk to the executives, is that this is probably the most unsettled first round since 2013.
Is there another top prospect that we should be thinking about?
The fastest rising prospect in this draft, Donovan Clingan from the University of Connecticut. And absolutely in the conversation to be the #1 overall pick.
This year's draft, more than any other draft in recent history, just a lot of uncertainty about which players were going to go where. One thing you always know about the Portland Trailblazers, they're going to be very well prepared for the draft. Joe Cronin and his staff do an excellent job. Years and years of scouting that goes into preparing for a draft.
Yeah, I would say it's a process that really starts with, our initial evaluation of, prospects, which can start anywhere from 14 to 15, 16 years old, and then continuing to track and follow those prospects. So we'll go to college practices, we'll go to international practices, we'll go to games, we'll make calls, we'll watch film. And so it's really just taking all these different inputs and kind of mashing it together and trying to make the best decision possible. It's a huge effort.
Clingan, starting things off today, another back-to-back 1-on-0. He got in late last night, saw him this morning. What are we looking for?
I want to see the stuff that we have questions on. I don't care about the cat and mouse game. We know that he can do that. I want to see him switching into a small and then finding a way to recover to make a second effort on defense.
Some stuff outside of the paint, and the shooting and the mobility in different ways.
So we didn't interview him in Chicago, so we're going to be able to get him in 2 film rooms today. So we'll have conference room again like yesterday, so we can get a bunch of us, and then we'll do the coaches film in the theater. So definitely want to pick his brain, see how he thinks the game. Some of us have a dinner with him tonight, and so we'll get a feel for what he's like off the court. I think the durability for him, the conditioning, where is that at? You know what I mean? Is he gassed? Is he going to push through it? What does all that look like? Definitely the shooting too. I think he shot threes in high school. We all think that can be a part of his game, but he was not a good free throw shooter.
So I first heard about Donovan, he must have been like a sophomore in high school who was playing at this small little public high school in Bristol, Connecticut. I worked for ESPN at the time. Adrian Wojnarowski, who went to that high school, said, hey, you should see this kid. He's got a lot of potential. He's big, he can shoot, he's skilled. He brought me to one of his workouts early in the morning. Okay, one, he's here at 6 in the morning going through this rigorous workout, so he's clearly very dedicated. And then two, you could see his touch, his skill level, and was just impressed with his level of focus and skill set at that size.
Let's go. Let's have a great day. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
We knew about him going into his freshman year. He had some buzz. Some of our scouts had evaluated him. BJ Domingo was coming from a USA basketball role. He had seen Donovan on the high school circuit, and a lot of our scouts were just familiar with his size, his length, his skill set. And then really that freshman season in Portland, at the Moda Center, PKI, just watching him erase shot after shot, watching him impact the game at such a high level defensively, we were all like, whoa. His feel for the game defensively, his toughness, his length, and the fact that every time he stepped on the floor, even playing behind, one of the best players in the conference, he was so impactful. I think he won MVP as a backup center, a true freshman. So we thought at that time, and a lot of our scouts thought that he could be really a one and done. Our scouts were on it, they were diligent, they knew about, his backstory, his feel for the game, his toughness, and we saw it here in Portland and we're really impressed. I think he won the building over.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. Not a bad bone in his body.
He's a really, really funny, high motor, energetic, has a lot of edge to him.
Smiley shoes. I really like SpongeBob. SquarePants or no?
What do you know about SpongeBob? But in high school, I remember he shot it easy. So, all right, man. All right, let's roll. Let's go.
He's so winning focused, and at UConn, that was his role, right? Is to be a rim protector, be a hub who can move the ball side to side and be a finisher, and not really look to step out and shoot the three. Dating back to that workout in his body of work, I think he shot 38% from three in high school. And so we were able to see, okay, he has a different element to his game than just the role he played at UConn. And so he was chomping at the bit to compete. And that's something that really stood out to us. And that combined with the shooting and the body of work, seemed like a no-brainer for us.
Here we go, all right? Oh, I love it.
Just his basketball IQ, just seeing how much time he's invested in studying the game. You don't normally see that from a 20-year-old 7'2", 7'3" guy. So you could see that he really eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. So that combined with all the other things we saw was just really, really impressive.
Punishing switches and finishing deep.
Of course. I think you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Oh! Sneak. Rim grazer. Love it. This is great. Yeah, man. 100%.
There's no way he's not gonna make NBA threes. I'd be shocked.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Look at that sheet, like water.
Just in search of perfection. Yeah.
Blazers up 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Good job. How are you, sis?
Yeah, I am. I see you. A sweaty mess.
Oh, you good?
That's all I do is sweat.
Great job, man. How'd you feel?
Good.
How many F-bombs did you? I would say over 20.
Today?
Yeah.
That was light.
Oh, it's the UConn way.
Thank you for doing this,
Of course, thanks for having me. I'm excited. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I love it. The place is dope. Like, I was telling him, like, we really did leave. Just like last year, we came from Peak 85.
Yeah.
We practiced here. We didn't leave here, so I didn't get to see everything else. Just great facility.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's dope. Dope. Bunch of good people. Ryan, good dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Connecticut legend.
Yeah. I was looking at the weather the other day, like, all right, what do I bring for clothes? It's high 70s.
Yeah, man.
Let's go. Yeah.
Summer's here.
Yes, sir.
You get your suit?
Working on it.
Yeah. What are you doing?
All black. To be like a shinier, though. Like
And you
all
said-
shiny. Pictures on the
Yeah.
Something about UConn and like back to back and then family.
Awesome.
All that action. Is
Yeah.
Not for me.
There you go. Love it, man. Hey, you're shooting.
Yeah.
Come a long way, man.
Looks good, though.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to have the same shot every time.
Yeah.
You know, in previous drafts, the number 1 pick or even the top 3 or 4 is generally pretty set. This year was very flat. So for us, we had 4 picks, all in different ranges with a draft with no consensus. That's what made it exciting, is there was so much uncertainty as to, are there gonna be trades? Are we keeping all these picks? What are we doing? And so I think for us, we had to be very diligent and detailed. It was a very involved process, which I think for us was really exciting.
Ready to make the selection?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh.
Did he like you? He enjoys it. Come together.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, Portland Trailblazers select Donovan Clingan. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
We okay. The best.
Good player, great person.
Yeah.
Wants to be here.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Donovan Clingan from the University of Connecticut.
This is an A for Portland. This is a best case scenario. I mean, there was real traction for him going number 1. There was talk early on he could go number 2. They had all these teams, Memphis, Chicago, OKC, who were all trying to trade up to get him. Now they have their center of the future. So this is a home run for Portland.
Hey!
Donovan. Let's go.
How are you?
Let's go. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you ready to come to Portland?
I'm ready.
Good. We're ready to get you here.
What's up, bro?
Coach, how are you?
Man, I'm ready to work, man. You know how I'm doing. I'm happy, man.
You know me, I'm ready.
I know you are, man. I ain't gonna cuss at you like Danny Hurley, but I'm gonna be on your butt, though.
Hell yeah, as you should.
We're excited, man. Congratulations, bro.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Worked your butt off, man.
Appreciate
Good
it. I'm ready to go. Excited.
We are thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
We'll see you
soon, Donovan.
Appreciate you. Later, Joe.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
All right, boy.
The idea of young players and the promise that they could have, that is something that people in Rip City have always really appreciated.
Congrats, brother. Love you, bro. Love you, congrats, bro. It means everything. I put a lot of work in my whole life to get to this moment. Being tired, being sore, it means a lot. To see all the hard work pay off, everyone that has that influence in my life. Over here, me and my mom someone lost 8th grade, and right here, back-to-back national titles, something that's important to me. To be able to hear my name called tonight is a blessing for sure.
It's always been a really aspirational part of the season and a really important part of the season because, the guys that you end up drafting a lot of times are the guys that end up taking you to, the places you want to go.
The pick is official. Big man Donovan Clingan is coming to Portland. The Blazers got exactly who they wanted at number 7. These are big moments for the Blazers. And even before all of that happened, they made a big splash, sending out serious draft capital to the Washington Wizards to acquire young wing Deni Avdija.
How are you? What's up?
Once we know who we're bringing into our practice facility, who we're bringing to Portland, we really want to welcome them. We're a small market, so every touch point that we have, we want to make sure it's intentional.
Good for you? Yes, sir. Ready? Ready to work? Good, man. Do it. Wherever. Oh, damn. There we go. That's what's up, man. That's nice. Jersey and everything. You got the jersey ready too?
So we really want them to feel embraced by the city of Portland when they come here.
Meet Deni. Michelle, this is Deni.
Michelle, nice to meet you.
If it's a trade, it's a little bit different.
What's up, man? Eli, welcome, bro.
Those guys have been in the league for a while.
Deni Avdija.
He's 23. I really wanted to put him in my finalist most improved player ballot. He's got size. He's shooting threes. He can create a little bit. He's like a good defender, versatile defender.
Yeah.
And positionally makes a lot of sense in Portland. I think it's a pretty big win for the Trailblazers.
How you doing?
I'm good. First of all, I'm very excited. You know, a new chapter in my journey. Great organization. They welcomed me very, very well, so it's a good start. You know, I'm glad to be in a place that people embrace me and love me. You know, I'm gonna bring my competitiveness, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
How would you describe your game to someone if you were going to tell them how Deni Avdija plays?
Passionate. Definitely, you can see the passion for winning, for playing basketball. I mean, I'm always trying to make the right plays as much as I can. I'm very team friendly, you know. I want to do the best I can to make them be better on the court and then just win games, that's it.
What are you excited about, curious about?
First of all, for the fans, I heard there's a very good fan base here, so I'm excited to be a part. You know, and the culture, you're in a different state, you're in the West Coast now, so, you know, seeing the city, seeing how people interact and being a part of Portland is exciting.
A part of my role is transitioning the players and getting acclimated to their new city and the staff.
What's up? How are you? Good.
And they understand what everybody's roles are.
What's up, man? How are you? Welcome. My guy. Dessert before dinner.
Man, so good to have you, man.
The only guy I know that eats dessert before dinner. Yeah, my dad, my girlfriend, my sister, and my grandma.
We were able to spend some time with him in Chicago very briefly, and then here, I know he had, dinner with the staff. He, was able to sit down and watch film in here with the coaches. Really just his personality. He's a really, really funny, is willing to talk trash to anybody.
Dessert before dinner.
Just seeing like how much time he's invested in studying the game.
That's our guy. That's right. You ready for your press conference tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
It's coming from tradition, and you're going to add to the tradition.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You could see that he eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. So really, really impressive.
When you talk about the roster building of this team, they are absolutely looking for players who put competitiveness at the top of their list. Guys who, it's incredibly important for them. They can't stand losing.
For me, it's a success if you're finding players that are going to challenge some of your best players. Okay, we're doing good because we're continually building our talent base. So it's continually seeking players that we can add to this roster that we can grow with and build together with.
Get ready to dominate, okay? Here we go, bro. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
Summer League is really important for players for a lot of reasons. To get players in Las Vegas at Summer League gives you an opportunity to give them just a taste of what it's really going to be like in the NBA.
Yeah, we're going to win everything we do, but it's about building our habits every day. Win, lose, or draw, we play the game how we play it, and that's how we build our habits, okay?
The Blazers had 4 players who are under contract for next season, and also now Bryce McGowan's who got a 2-way contract as well. And those players are joined by a group of players who are looking to get into the NBA.
You get a feel for the game, you compete at a high level against great competition, and
just come here to get better.
In Donovan Clingan, you get a player at just 20 years old that you feel like can be an important cornerstone of your organization on both sides of the ball.
A defensive monster with his shot blocking, with his timing, at his size, to be able to dribble, to make slip passes and backdoor passes off the dribble when you're 7'2".
Clingan now coming.
I think Donovan's gonna be a good role guy.
End of the first, and how bounce was now.
I loved our approach to the game, and it was a lot of different guys throughout the night. You know, a lot of different contributions from different players.
Playing so well right now, keep it aggressive.
Ryan Rupert, the finish. Great serve. Oh my goodness, it continues. There's Reese again, connects with an deep ball. Gets blocked on the perimeter by Clingan.
No, we gonna make it happen.
It's a 5-second count. The rookie couldn't get it inbounds.
So for the Trailblazers, you have an opportunity to go out, play with younger players who are gonna get a chance to go out and show some of the things they've been working on. Not just show it to the fans, but really show it to themselves.
Look at it shining, it's amazing.
Pass one.
McGowan's trying to get downhill on the punch. My goodness.
Good job by Clingan once again. Another miss.
You know, when you have vets on your summer league team, even if they're not necessarily playing in the games, you know, it really goes to show how invested players are in the team when they go out of their way to take their time in the offseason and spend time with the team, with young players, with the coaching staff, because they all want to have success going forward, and they know that in order to have that kind of success, you have to do it as a team.
So part of being a pro, never getting too high, never getting too low. Control what you can control, be your best self. Okay, let's have some fun, and get out of here.
You know, we're just trying to get better every day. That was from the first day of training camp to the first game to the second game. We just want to improve every day and continue to build our habits.
Us as a group, as a team, everybody had fun. The connection was great.
You know, I'm not a person that wants individual accolades. You know, I'm not worried about the MVPs and Player of the Years and stuff. You know, I'm worried about championships.
Just his basketball IQ, you know, you don't normally see that from a 20-year-old 7'2", 7'3" guy.
You know, I'm gonna continue to work and continue to shoot that ball with confidence. I really wanted to show off how really of a rim protector I was. Just my playmaking. You know, I feel like today I was able to show that. You know, I'm someone that wants to learn, someone that's gonna give their all every single day.
Summer league's a time for improvement. Okay, none of us are finished products. All right, excellent execution right here.
Great summer league, grateful and blessed for the opportunity. Come on. Last game, let's get this dub and go home.
Yeah, you know, we're intentional about everything we do. We're carrying out Coach Phillips' system on both sides of the ball. I thought this group came together really well. It was a lot of fun to coach.
Just play aggressive, play confident, just show different progressions that I made, and be more of a vocal leader this time around.
Robinson is missed. He is protecting the rim.
So much great opportunity for the players and the coaches to get together and just kind of set the groundwork for what they're going to be going forward. For the young players, it really gives them an opportunity to understand or at least get a little taste of what it's like to be in the NBA. And it really just gives you a good basis for understanding, you know, what it means to be an NBA player.
Portland comes from behind, getting a double-digit win in their last game in Vegas. 105-95.
It's really about making some of those big decisions. What kind of basketball are we going to play? What kind of team are we going to be?
Trying to rebuild and trying to do it the right way. You first have to do that with really young, talented players. And I just know that we're doing it right.
Joe, you know, the rest of the group did an unbelievable job just identifying talent. Donovan, his skill level, Deni and his confidence, toughness, and we're really excited to see what he can bring with this group and just kind of how he can mesh with the rest of the roster.
We're collecting a lot of good young talent that we know are going to be special players in this league. And when they all make a jump, we're going to take off.